A former Catholic priest pleaded guilty to sexual abuse charges involving 2 boys. David Polson faces up to 14 years in prison for incidents that happened between 2002 and 2010. He's one of only 2 Pennsylvania priests to face charges since a grand jury report identified hundreds of abusive clergy. Yesterday, the Pennsylvania State Senate declined to vote on a bill that would extend the statute of limitations allowing childhood sex abuse victims to sue. Nikki Batiste spoke with 2 victims who handled the issue a different way. They met face-to-face with the priest they say sexually abused them. This is a story you'll only see on CBS News. Nikki, good morning.
Good morning. The priest declined our request for an interview, but because the victims told us they wanted their conversation recorded, we set up hidden cameras. They say they want survivors and the public to hear what their alleged abuser has to say now.
Hi, Nikki Batiste with CBS News.
This former priest wasn't interested in talking with CBS.
Nothing? Nothing you want to say to your victims? You don't want to apologize?
But our cameras were rolling minutes earlier when George Kaharchik faced 2 of the men who say he molested them as boys.
I'm certainly sorry for any harm I've caused and ashamed of everything that I did back then.
Nearly 4 decades ago here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Kaharchik was teaching and coaching sports at a Catholic grade school.
Is this around the age the abuse began?
Yeah.
That's when he took an interest in a pair of 10-year-old friends, Sean Doherty and Brian Sabo.
This is the first time you're talking about your story publicly.
Mm-hmm.
What's the process that got you to this point?
I think just the support of family, my wife, just constantly reassure me I haven't done anything wrong.
We were confused. I mean, he's the priest. Not that any other adults at your age would bathe you in a shower, but he did it like in a joking way. Like, oh, let me get your bag, you know. So, I mean, there's certain things that you just keep private.
But they wanted everything to be public now, as they contacted Kaharchik to arrange a sit-down.
What does he hope to gain from meeting Sean and I after all these years? I hope it's not to ask for forgiveness. You know, I don't think his soul can be saved now.
Is there any part of you that forgives him?
No.
I forgive him. If he's willing to...
You forgive him?
I've forgiven him a long time ago.
Is that for you or is that for him?
I think both. I think tonight is for me. How you doing? Have a seat.
As they met face-to-face with the admitted child abuser, both had plenty of questions.
At any point, when you first started having those feelings, did you feel like, should I talk to someone, or?
And that's not the sort of thing where you're going to call the bishop up and say, you know, anything about it, because then... That's good. Thank you. Then you run the risk of, you know, being, you know, dismissed or whatever.
Was there something else about Sean and I that made us a target?
Well, it was the familiarity, maybe. You were close or involved in the things that were going on with the church.
Is this something that you would have confessed in the confessional?
Oh, I have, I'm certain. But
do you think that's forgiven you?
yeah.
But Kaharchik claimed he didn't know who in the church may have been aware of his behavior.
You didn't get transferred for sexually abusing kids?
I don't think so.
I felt like there was a lot of dancing.
A lot of dancing, feeling out.
He just would not admit that there's any kind of cover-up at all.
How are you feeling?
Good. Yeah, that was hard. It was really hard. I came here not knowing what to expect, but when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to feel really glad I did this.
Relieved?
Yeah.
I got a lot off my chest that I never thought that I'd get off my chest. I mean, I just successfully met with the guy that abused me and got to say everything that I wanted to say to him. Got it off my chest, and I'm at peace right now. I'm completely at peace.
In 2015, George Koharchik admitted to sexually abusing several children during a grand jury investigation. He was defrocked but never criminally charged, and the statute of limitations has expired for his victims in Pennsylvania. In the years after the abuse, Sean Doherty and Brian Sabo say they struggled emotionally. But today, they say a weight has been lifted from their shoulders, and you can see the courage that they have. It's remarkable.
The courage, and you can still see the pain after all this. I mean, you look at their little faces, too, from back in the day to where they are today. And to look at the priest, who didn't seem to have a lot of remorse. I'm curious, Nikki, how you were able to record him.
So we spoke with the priest, and he didn't want to speak on camera. He did want to speak with Brian and Sean. They wanted to speak to him. They insisted it be recorded. It was the only way they would do it. It was a public place,
so that's
we
why.
could do
Nikki,
it.
I've never seen anything like it.
I haven't either.
I've never seen anything like it. It was really
It's
interesting.
amazing work, Nikki. Thank you
Sean
so
and
much.
Brian hope it helps all the victims that are out there.
Right.
It seemed to help them. It seemed to help them.
It did.
And you can hear more from Nikki on today's CBS This Morning podcast, where she shares where the idea to confront the former priest came from. You can hear it on Apple's podcast app or wherever you download your podcasts.